Welcome to this video on the topic of indices. In this video, we're going to have a look at something called significant figures. Significant figures being a convention we use to be able to highlight the important or the significant part of a number or a quantity. The way in which we can write a number using the significant figures convention is we can convert the quantity over to scientific notation, and then we round the number to n-1 places, n being the amount of significant figures you want to go backwards to. Okay, with this out of the way, let's have a look at doing two examples. So what we have here are two quantities. First one we have 278,463, and the second one we have 0.00765884. So example A here, we're going to express this quantity to three significant figures. So the first step involved is we rewrite this using scientific notation. So I'm simply going to write out 278,463, and I'm going to move the decimal place between the 2 and the 7. Now, because I've done that, obviously I need to multiply it by something very large because I've turned a very large number to a very small one. And the exponent that I multiply it by will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll become times 10 to the 5. Alright, so now that we've got that out of the way, we want to now represent this number to three significant figures. And as was mentioned up over here, the way in which we do it is we round to n-1 decimal places. So if we're rounding to three significant figures, then we're only interested in these three digits over here. So 1, 2, 3. So n-1 being 2. So to do that, we have to round by looking at this digit right here. And we ask ourselves, is this digit 4, is it equal to or greater than 5, or is it less than 5? So if it's less than 5, then we round down, and if it's greater than 5, we round up. So rounding it over, we go 2.78 because it's less than 5, and thus the result is going to be 2.78 times 10 to the 5. Now if we wanted to, significant figures doesn't necessarily mean we have to represent a quantity in scientific notation. Rather, it only says that we have to represent the three significant figures of the number, or the three most important digits within the number. So if we want, we can convert this back to standard notation by going 2, 7, 8, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we effectively do is we change 278,463 to 278,000. So in doing so, we change a number that looks a little bit complicated to something that's a bit easier to digest. Alright, so example B now, we have 0.00765884. We're going to represent this to three significant figures using the method we used above. First thing we do is we convert it to scientific notation. So I'm going to drop the leading zeros because we don't care about those. We go 7, 6, 5, 8, 4, and we move our decimal place between the 7 and the 6. Then because we've made a really small number appear larger, we need to count how many decimal places we move the decimal place back. So 1, 2, 3, so it becomes times 10 to the 3. So we've got a number in scientific notation convention now. Next step is we need to round. So we look at n-1. So these digits here are the ones we're going to keep, and then we have to look at this one here to see whether we round up or down. Because it's greater than 5, we're going to round up. So we go 7.66 times 10 to the 3. And what we've got is a number represented in scientific notation to three significant figures. So 0.00765884 can be rewritten as 7.66 times 10 to the 3. Now, once again, because we don't have to represent it in scientific notation to do it to three significant figures, we can simply change this back to standard notation. You don't have to, but you can. So you go 7, oops, my bad, that should be -3. So we're going to go 7, 6, 6, and we're going to install 1, 2. So we're moving back 1, 2, 3. So the new number is 0.00760. So this is our number represented to 3 significant figures. So this has been a video demonstrating what significant figures are and how we can represent numbers to a set amount of significant figures.